often, but when we do, we get a great one. And the last time we went up there, it was Christian Wilkins, so no pressure to Ronan. But man, he's a special talent. He's a big, strong, athletic kid that can really run, and he's just a football player. I mean, he could literally play anywhere. I mean, he could play either side of the ball. He could do anything. But we really love what he brings to the table, as a receiver, and I'm excited to get my hands on him. But a big body guy and a great competitor, great ball skills, you name it. Just a great get for us. So excited about having him. Noble Johnson from out in Texas. He is really, really, really athletic and gifted, can do a lot of things. He will remind you a little bit of Bo. And he's just a dynamic guy. He's explosive. He's got great ball skills. He came. One of the things I love about Noble is he came to camp, because I told him I wasn't going to offer him unless I got a chance to see him in person at camp, and he had all kind of offers. And he came here and competed, and he dominated. Just absolutely put on a show in our camp, and really made it easy. And then just an amazing family, a great addition. So super excited about him. He knew what he wanted to do, kind of like Cade Klubnik. He kind of grew up following Clemson, it's a reminder to me that, there's a lot of these kids today. I mean, the last, 10, 12 years they've been watching Clemson. And, we just as a reminder of how strong our brand is, regardless of where we go. And but Noble's a perfect example of that. And then Tyler Brown. Tyler is, right down the road here, incredibly polished. A guy, he's an example and a reminder of why we don't offer freshmen and sophomores around here. And that it's a developmental game. This kid has gotten better and better and better and better. And man, he put on a show this year. A very, very polished player. He's very similar to Antonio in some ways. He's very polished. He can really run. He's a great kid, and he's dreamed about coming to Clemson, and I love that. And he made his dream come true. He made it. He made it happen. So I'm excited about him. And then Tink, right here. There's really not anything Meissen can't do. I mean, he can. I've watched this kid a lot like DeAndre Hopkins. I watched him come through, and he was just great at everything. And DeAndre wasn't really highly recruited. He played everything. He did all this stuff, and then he just came to college and he got locked in. And I see Tink in that same regard. I mean, it doesn't matter where you put him, running back, safety, corner, to the field, in the boundary, in the slot. He's the best player, and he has been a punt returner, kick returner, you name it. He is truly one of the best, I think, just pure players in this class. And, I think he can do a lot of things. So I'm really excited about that group and what they bring to the table to go along with Adam and Bo and Antonio and Cole Turner and Speck and all those guys that'll be back here. Stellato, we got a really good group, and I think this is a good addition with it. And then two tight ends, Olsen, Pat Henry, and Marcus Dixon. Olsen coming from down there at Naples. Kyle Richardson did a great job in evaluating and pursuing and recruiting exactly who he was after. It was a very tight group that we recruited in this class at tight end. And, man, we're super excited about Olsen and Marcus Dixon coming from Pennsylvania. Two great kids, two guys with high-level potential to go right along with Josh Sapp, who I think has got a chance to be a really good player for us. Had a great scrimmage. We had a JV scrimmage Monday. And, so we got a really good group, obviously, with the guys that are already on the roster. So excited about where we are there at that position. Same thing I'd say about Coach Thomas Austin. What a job he did in identifying and evaluating and recruiting what we needed in this offensive line. And to go right on top of Blake Miller and Colin Sadler, who are two, guys that are going to play a ton of football here at Clemson. But, man, to go out to Texas and get Harris Sewell, from Permian, and then be able to get Ian Reed from Vandergrift. I mean, two great programs, two historic programs. These are big, strong, tough, passionate guys when it comes to playing the offensive line. And Thomas did a great job of identifying everything he was looking for. And then you got Big Zach Owens from right down the road here in Georgia at Eagles Landing. He is easily one of the biggest guys that we've had come through here at Clemson. I mean, he is an absolute giant and a guy that I'm super excited about coaching. Three great kids, great families, great additions, and just what we need in that offensive line. So, again, every position, it's exciting to get these guys to come in on top of the guys that we have. And then defensively, we signed those 6 D linemen. So, signed 3 DNs, David Ojebwe from up there, same school as Trey at St. John's in D.C., AJ from down in Georgia, Hoffler, another just, great young prospect, and T.J. Parker from Central there in Phoenix City, Alabama. These are 3 guys that all 3 bring different things to the table. All three have great size, strength, athleticism, and dynamic. So just great kids, great families, great fits for us. Been committed for quite a while now, and really 3 guys that could have gone anywhere they wanted to go in the country. And so it's really awesome to have them come and help us, build for our future in that defensive line. Then you look at the D tackles. Peter Woods could really probably play anywhere. He could play linebacker, DN, 3 technique, 4-eye, nose, shade, running back. I mean, there's really anything he wants to do. That he I think is as good a football player as there is in this country, and he's been committed a long time. He's special, #1 player down there in state Alabama, and a special family. And just a blessing to be able to have him come join us, coming from my rival high school. I grew up. You didn't like the Thompson Warriors. So I promise you, that's the first home visit from a Pelham Panther at a Thompson Warrior. So it's kind of great to team up with him, and it's going to be a lot of fun these next few years. Same thing with Vic Burley. Man, we've been tracking this big guy for quite a while, and he's a monster. He is a monster. Great kid, great family. Mom's assistant principal at the rival school, but he comes from just an absolutely great program there at Warner Robins, and just one of the best we've signed. I really believe that. Already here, already getting a little practice in and going to the bowl with us, and then big Steph Island Green from down at Rome. He's one of those guys that, he's similar to those. That's the other thing I like about these 3 guys is they got some similarities, but there's some differences too. And Steph Island is kind of a combination of those 2. I mean, he really is explosive. He's a very explosive player and a tough kid with a hard edge to him, and I think a great fit. So, man, Coach Ski and Coach Eason, what a fantastic job they did in recruiting these guys and leading the way there. And then I'll say the same thing about Wes, Coach Goodwin. Man, we said we're going to take 2 backers, and to go get Jamal Anderson and D. Creighton, been committed since the summer, a long time now. Hey, super excited about these guys right here. I mean, Jamal from Mill Creek and D from Denmark, 2 great families, 2 great kids that I think are exactly what we needed at that position. And then on the back end, 3 corners and 3 safeties. Avion Terrell, I got a picture, just goes to show you. I mean, sometimes God just blesses you, right? And I got a picture with little Avion when he was in like the 7th grade when we were recruiting AJ, and I told him back then, I said, the only reason we were recruiting AJ was to get him. And so here we are. And that little guy grew up, and he's a baller. He is a incredibly competitive, skilled, focused kid, and knows what it looks like. I mean, he brings a presence with him at that position. And obviously he's been exposed to a lot through his brother and his development. in his time here at Clemson. So, man, Avion is a great addition coming out of Westlake. Shelton Lewis, out of Stockbridge. When I was at his house, his dad went to his room and he brought a loose leaf piece of paper that was kind of torn up a little bit. And when he was about 10 years old, he wrote down, I think, his top 8 school choices that he wanted to go and play college football at one day. And number 1 on his list was Clemson. And just really cool. It's a really, really cool thing. And now here he is, grown up, and he's made that dream a reality. And I would say the same thing, man. Shelton he's here now. He's incredibly focused. He's a very skilled kid. He's tough. He's just about his business. That's what I'm really excited about these guys and who they are. And just, I think they've got a level of maturity to them that you don't always see, especially sometimes at that position. They're really locked in technically and fundamentally and, passionate about it. And then you got Brandon Strozier from down at St. Francis. He is long. He is a long athlete who can run. And same thing, been committed a long time, has tremendous athleticism, but just a ton of length. So all 3 of those guys, with what we need to the field and the boundary and our nickel corner, I mean, they really, I think, fit everything that we're looking for at the position. And then at safety, Kylan Webb, Robert Billings, and Khalil Barnes, same thing, man. Mickey Kahn, just a phenomenal job. Kylan Webb is a tremendous athlete. If you really study him, he can do anything. I mean, he plays both sides of the ball. He really understands the game. He's tough. He's